You're listening to the Heroes Power Hour presented by BlizzPro.com. Your hosts, Balrog fan Zexorus and DJ Tyrant. Welcome everyone to episode 77 of the Heroes Power Hour. Once again, this is your weekly news show for Heroes of the Storm, brought to you by BlizzPro.com. I'm your host, DJ Tyrant, and with me, as always, is the wonderful crew. We are down one man, as he had a concert to go to. We're just gonna throw him under the bus. He had a concert that was way more important than this show. But,
he abandoned us.
Yeah, Balrog fan will be back next week. Let's start off with Zexorus this week. How are you doing, buddy? I know it's a little bit of a stressful time right now, but how else are you doing?
I'm doing great. I played way too much PTR this week. Dear God. It's been fun though. I'm really enjoying the Brawl mode. I haven't been enjoying it as much due to some factors coming in, but for most part, we'll touch on that later tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Artifice, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. It's been a good week. I finally got what I wanted for the last 9.5 months, the Brawl mode. I did play a bunch of it. Did play some PTR, but I've been back and forth between Blizz games this week a lot. It's busy, crazy week.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy week for Blizzard games in general. We'll be talking a lot about that on the payload, I'm sure, this week, is Overwatch gaining basically a brand new mode and a bunch of skins. So we'll talk about that Thursday. But this is Heroes. P-Flame G, how are you, my friend? You got a haircut there, it looks like.
Yeah, got a haircut. I pugged the first 5 bosses of Emerald Nightmare, which was a lot of fun. Got to tank that. And then played some Hero League and played some Brawl on PTR. And so just a lot of Blizzard games this week. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. That is awesome. I did want to mention, though, really quickly, for those of you join us maybe for the first time, we do the podcast here for the first hour and then play games after the show. This week we're going to do something a little different, something we haven't done in a long time. We're going to be playing on the PTR. So if you don't have that yet, go ahead and download that, and we'll be playing some Brawls tonight after the show. Also, we will be giving away a Machines of War bundle during the show. So make sure you stick through the show, and might be throwing another a Zarya bundle in there as well for those of you that aren't able to get this Machines of War bundle. But the Machines of War bundle is huge, has a lot of skins, has all the skins from it, from this event, and all sorts of stuff in there. So make sure to stay tuned to this episode, and we'll be giving that away in a little bit. I was thinking, instead of talking about our games this week, we'll just get into talking about Brawl mode, because that is, I think, the focus of this week. A lot of people finally got their hands on Brawl, and to say the least, it's been really, really fun. I want to start off with you, Carl, because I know you and Willie were playing a lot last night, and I kind of caught on the tail end there for you guys. What do you think overall of Brawl, and what does it bring to Heroes of the Storm?
It's just a lot of fun. I mean, Heroes, I don't think most people can play it without getting super stressed out because it's got short game times, whatever. But I tend to make too much out of everything I play. So I get really intense in Hero League, and I try hard. And then Brawl is just like, I don't care. I'm gonna pick Earthquake on Thrall. I'm gonna stim drone a Li Ming. It's and it just having a fun time, and nobody really cares because the game's gonna last 3 minutes anyways. And it's just, I really like the no level thing, where it's just, you just go and you fight, and you might be down 40 points, but that doesn't mean you're weaker than them. You just got to keep outplaying your opponent if you want to win.
Yeah,
so just a lot of fun.
Yeah, most definitely. I think the other thing I touched about this on a little bit last week because I got to be able to play it at Blizzard HQ a couple weeks ago or last week. I don't know. My timeline's getting all mixed together, but yeah, last week in
What year is it?
what day is it? But yeah, I think the crazy mode that they dub it, where everyone gets all the same hero, it has been some of the funnest games that we've had. Last night I know we got Zeratul, and I think about halfway through I figured out how to play Zeratul because I hadn't played him in I don't know how long.
You never want to initiate in an all Zeratul mode.
Yeah, that was the thing we learned very quickly. Artifice, what do you think of the mode? Did you get to play it some?
I did. My first set of matches started with a round of 10 butchers, which lasted about a minute and a half. That was kind of ridiculous because it was butchers plus the Punisher, so it was just non-stop stuns, and then everyone would just die all at the same time.
What ult did y'all take?
It was 3 and 2. 3 lambs or 3 furnace and 2 lambs on both sides. So it was kind of like grab and go mode. It was kind of ridiculous. The second set and the third set, actually, all of my options were supports, which was amusing because Morales on that mode is kind of funny because you just sit in the back and like let everyone else do your work for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many combinations that'll be a lot of fun to see as this mode comes out. Zexus, I want to know your thoughts on it. I know you put in a lot of time into the PTR. You mentioned at the top of the show that you spent a lot of more time than you thought you would have spent in the game.
Yeah, as soon as it hit, that's pretty much the only thing I've played, and I'd say I've played about between, I don't know, a rough estimate, 40 to 60 games of Brawl. And there's one of my first all-hero crazy mode games was an all-Sonya game.
How many people took leap?
Everybody but 2 people on the other side, and hold your leap until they're done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoever leaps first loses.
Pretty much.
No, seriously. Like, they would initiate, and as soon as their initiation was done, all their whirlwinds, all their stuff they were trying to accomplish would get stuffed by 5 leaps, one right after another, and then we would just be surrounding them and just whirlwinding them to death.
Did you ever manage to leap in place to avoid their stun and hit them right after?
Yes. It feels good when that happens. Let's see. I had an all-murky game. That was fun. Everybody took March, so 10 marches.
I was in
ridiculous.
on that one. It was fun.
Yeah, it was. Let's see what else. I haven't hit the one I want, the all Chen, because I feel like that one's gonna take hours.
The dream.
The dream is still out there.
I don't know what's worse, that or all Abathur. Not that all Abathur can happen, but just the thought of it
Someday.
disturbs me.
Pipe dream.
As little as Abathur does damage, I think his health will small enough for people to die faster than Shen's.
Well, because your only option is to take Ultimate Evolution, and who are you going to evolve? More Abathur. There's no creeps to evolve.
They get 20% bonus AD, man.
That's
like 3 extra damage per slap.
Well, there's the mines as well, so
yeah.
But
more
if it
damage
was all
on your
Abathurs,
mines.
Could you have more than one hat? Would it be like tentacles, like out your head?
Multi hat, yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't. And then just tonight, I had an all hammer map.
Oh, jeez.
Oh God.
Like little preview of that Towers of Doom map.
But this was on the Punisher, which is the only one available right now. But like, it was funny because like, as soon as the game started, we all ulted. We all took BFG. We all ulted. We guessed the top gate, and we were immediately off to a 20-point lead.
Wow, that's awesome.
Or no, let's see. It's 20 point, instant 20 point. We lost that game, but
oh my goodness,
like it was fun to have a 20-point lead right out the start. But there's the most recent games, especially today. the fun factor has dropped, in my opinion. It's still a really fun mode, but everybody is rushing the enemy fountain.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have that one guy who's like, yeah, screw this, and I'm going to go be the tryhard of this fun mode, and I'm going to go take out their fountain.
It's always some range person, too, that's like, oh.
No, it's not always. Like, if you have a stealth, they'll do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's too. Mm-hmm.
Like, Samuro, he's great at doing it.
Yeah.
Like, he's amazing at taking out that enemy fountain because of his mirror image and everything like that. And we'll touch on Samuro later. But, like, it's... The fountains need to get made invulnerable.
Mm. I think that is a good feedback for them to think about.
The fountains are there to be a quick top-off before going back. And as hectic as Brawl mode is, not having that fountain ensures your loss. Like, you are going to... Cat, you were the one that got up.
But yeah, I wanted to say, you reminded me, talking about stealth heroes, the funny thing about having all Zera tools is the Punisher has no idea what to do because he can't see any of the heroes until someone de-stealths. He just walks around.
He just runs around. Oh, gonna hit somebody as soon as they come out of stealth.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
I didn't have a... Because if you get like multiple options of the same hero, the other team gets another random that they can get 3 of or whatever. We played one game where it was 3 Lunara versus 3 Kerrigan. I don't remember if Jimmy was there yet.
I don't think I was in that one. I feel like I would remember that.
We were on the Lunara team, and I was kind of worried, but then all of us took Leaping Strike, and anytime Kerrigan tried to combo, we just leaped directly over her, avoid everything, and they couldn't touch us, and it was the best.
I don't remember that game. Lunara is really, really powerful on Brawl mode. She is absolutely ridiculous. Gazlowe, I thought would have been better.
Yeah.
But you don't have access to anything that makes Gazlowe good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you don't have the slow turrets or anything like that, or even the multi-shot turrets would be good here. But like, all you can do is just spam turrets to try to get Grav Bomb off. Get Grav Bomb off cooldown quicker. So, like, there's some tweaking that needs to be done, but for the most part, like, Blizzard hit it on the head. Like, it's incredibly fun. I download the PTR, guys. Like, you want to play this with us tonight. It is absolutely wonderful to play it. I know I'm going to be burning a lot of time when I get frustrated with hero mode or something like that. Like, this is a good de-stressor because the games don't matter. It's silly, it's entertaining, and please fix the fountains. Like, that started off as, well, that's annoying, whatever, it happens, to, okay, this is actually what people are going to do every game from now on. Like, you are either going to defend your fountain or you're going to go attack their fountain, or both teams are going to miss each other and attack each other's fountain.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see something come out from that. Probably go on the PTR forums and make sure that that's being discussed after the show tonight. But
tweeted at Browder about it.
There you go. That's all you have to do. Speaking of Browder, did you see he kind of hinted at bringing Tychus's cigar back? Like, that's amazing.
Oh, please.
Come on, Blizzard, please. But
a lollipop.
Yeah, there we go, lollipop. But I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts really quickly on, do you think it's rewarding enough? And like you were saying, Zex, you got a little... It's not as fun as it goes on. I think that's why they made it a weekly thing that's continually changing. So for those that aren't familiar with it yet, you get 1,000 gold and a portrait for every 3 brawls that you complete, and that changes every week, obviously, to the different types. 1,000 gold's pretty good for 3 games, and considering how fast these can go, What do you guys
It's just
think?
the first 3 per week, though,
Yeah,
right?
it's first 3. Yeah, sorry.
It's not just
Sorry,
every
it's
3
not-
games you get 1,000 gold.
Literally,
30,000
people
gold
just
in one day.
people just farm gold that way. But
I
yeah,
get
it's
20k gold today.
Yeah,
I would,
yeah.
I would be one of those people who would just farm gold like that because
Yeah.
the game is that fun to me.
Because you're Chen.
But that's what? Say it again.
I said because you're Chen.
Yes.
You would just farm gold.
Yeah. Let me think here. You completely derailed my train of thought.
Oh, is it
The thousand gold and a portrait is nice, but like most people are gonna play the 3 and then quit. They're not gonna touch Brawl again, or a lot of people, which is a tragedy for Brawl. It needs like its own daily quest system almost. Like it needs a tiered achievement for throughout the week that will keep you coming back, because you're going to knock those first 3 out an hour tops. And it very possibly. And without like a tiered reward system in place, like people are just going to play the 3 and go back to Hero League or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
So,
and I mean, I think there's going to be.
I think more rewards for playing Brawl mode extensively is going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not like impossible goals, like after your 100th game, you now own Heroes of the Storm, and congratulations, you know, or anything like that. But like, you know, I'd say multiply by 3 every time. So like, you know, for your first 3 games, you get 1,000 gold. After 9 games, you get X. After 27 games, you get whatever. So you just keep going, you know, by a factor of 3, I guess.
That might be some long-term.
I don't know, Matt.
Long-term
Yes,
goals.
Brawls.
Yes.
Dim for Dizzle. Yes, Brawls do give character experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be cool if they did something where just like, they had a daily quest that lasted. I mean, maybe you wouldn't. You want to take up a daily quest with this, but those like special quests, like event quests, that last like the duration of a season, right? It's like play, 300 brawls in season 2, and you get a mount.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Kind of like, here's a reward if you're, if you really just want to go hard in this brawl mode, we want to reward you for that in the same kind of way we reward our Hero League players.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people who this will be their fun de-stress mode. They play it a couple times, and their main thing is Hero League. That's probably going to be me. But there's people who just love Brawl and are going to just only play it. Mm-hmm. And anything you can do for those kind of players is going to make them stick with the game.
Well, they can also use the event that just happened and maybe do like Stimpack rewards for X amount of wins or games in Brawl.
That's another great. There's so much they can do to improve the reward system.
Brawl League.
Brawl League. God, no. Don't.
You know what's funny is Sweet Synergy Ori is putting together a tournament for Brawls, which I think is absolutely hilarious because that's so RNG based. It'll be hilarious to watch.
I think the thing I like most about Brawl is there's no meta. It's not going to fall into that hole of ban the same things, pick the same things. You've seen this 1,000 times and nobody cares. Like, you're stuck with, okay, your options are Tassadar and Rhaegar and Uther. Those are your 3. You get to pick one of those, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I think the meta is still going to apply. Like today, I learned the hard way that Kael'thas without a tank in front of him really sucks.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Absolute garbage without a. No, well, okay, there's that, but.
Then it's just like opera
Zeratul and a Kerrigan just had their way with me all game. I think I died 7 times because I was like trying to cast spells and Kerrigan's, ooh, free points. Crap!
That's when you hide in the back and aim for the Punisher and stay very, very far from everybody else.
Well, that would have helped if they didn't have that would have been great if they didn't have the Zeratul, who I couldn't actually see because there's so much crap flying around the screen that you can't see the blur.
Yeah.
So, like, they were just lining me up for kills for days, and it was not. I still had fun, but it was a really bad fun time.
Yeah. Anyways, I kind of wanted to move this along. We've talked a lot about Brawl, but just a reminder, Brawl does release next week on live servers. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out on the PTR yet, or just don't want to download the PTR, I know some people are, that's how they feel. So it'll be here next week along with the Halloween mode and Samuro, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But for those of you playing on live, we do have a balanced patch coming out, I believe tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, October 12th. They are going to target some of these heroes that have really been dominating the competitive meta right now, specifically Zarya and Malfurion. But as well, they are touching on the Warhead Junction Battleground, increasing or reducing the nuke's damage, the inner damage from 100 to 50%, and the time at which nukes upgrade their damage changed from 14 to 18 minutes, so a pretty significant change. I still actually haven't played this Battleground yet. What do you guys think of this change, real quickly, Zex?
Can you pass on to Carl real quick?
Yeah, Carl.
I'm catching up.
Yeah, so I've played it a couple times, and so their comments, because there's like this thing, people get mad at you for dropping nukes on forts, which is like, well, that's what we're supposed to do, but they want you to clear a fort and then just like bomb the keep behind it, and then you get like 3 nukes and you just run to their core and end the game at like 14 minutes, like they said. Which, I mean, speaking strategically, it's good, but that's not how they intended the map to be played. They wanted it to last as long as the other stuff. So it's just, they're trying to make these early nukes not be threatening to the core. And just, the inner damage means you have to, you can't target in the middle and blow up the entire fort area. Stuff like that. I think the nuke just turned out to be a lot stronger, or so strong that people could take advantage of it. And, the devs don't try and, I mean, I'm sure they do to an extent, but they're playing the game how they designed it to be played. And it's got to be someone's job to break it, but no one can break it as hard as, the million players or however many people are going to go through Hero League in 3 weeks. So, it's to be expected on new Battlegrounds.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with that. I've never experienced the nuke rush tactic, but I'll be honest, it's crossed my mind to do that. Like, I've told people around that minute mark, if we get 3 or 4 nukes, hold the nukes. Let's just bum rush middle and win the game like that. Especially if we're up 1 or 2 heroes. So it's. Yeah, it was definitely a nerf. The nukes are incredibly strong, especially in team fight situations with a hero that can lock somebody down really well. Like Zagara. Like, we had a Zagara Maw into a Zarya black hole, and we just wiped them. It was that. Yeah, it was disgusting. Like, you guys aren't running away, and they had nobody who could like jump or anything like that. So they were stuck there. They had to hold that L. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. Moving on though to some of these hero changes, Vala is getting a buff to Rain of Vengeance, and a couple of the talents getting changed around. Most notably, I think Frost Shot, slow duration being reduced by half a second. Carl, I think you're the most knowledgeable person on here about Vala, so I'm gonna lean on you on your thoughts to these changes. They seem pretty good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Basically, if you've read the last 6 developer comments on Vala, they're kind of happy where she is, win rate wise, but just everyone's picking multi-shot, and the other 2 builds aren't doing as much. It's like, okay, let's buff damage per hatred stack. Let's buff Caltrop damage. Let's buff Rain of Vengeance. And let's nerf Frost Shot. Because Frost Shot is the linchpin of the multi-shot build. And this doesn't ruin it. It just slows a little worse. So, I don't know. I think this is another case where they designed Vala to be this hero with 3 very functional builds. And one is just crowding out the others. But Volley buffs are always nice. I think she's pretty decent right now. Rain of Vengeance damage I will always take. I like the
Yeah.
the Caltrops talent at 1, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Death Dealer as well, increasing the damage by Hatred stack will really ramp up later into the game. It's a level 7 talent, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Moving on though to our specialist Nazebo, we have some changes as well to this hero. Gargantuan's damage is reduced, and the Ravenous Spirit damage is being increased, and baseline decrease on Corpse Spider's cooldown by 1 second. So kind of a little bit more uptime on those spiders, and they're actually buffing the spiders once again, which is a dangerous thing because they've done this before and they had to scale back on it. But level 7 Spirit of Archer. I don't know if it's the right, but whatever. Ericure. Thank you, Carl. Increases the number of additional spiders spawned from 1 to 2. So a little bit more buggy there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Are you channeling Willie right now?
I am the only one allowed to tell bad jokes here. Please get off my stage.
Yeah, but just some quality of life changes for Nazebo. I think bringing the damage down a little bit. But other than that, I think he's still in a good spot.
Buffs to Ravenous Spirit always make me happy.
Yeah, the Ring of Poison damage definitely needed to get reduced. That was just an insane amount of damage.
Yeah, I think we were playing last week on the changes to Nazebo, and I was just blown. Or it was a PTR. I was playing Mouth, and I was just blown away by how I was just getting decimated in the zombie wall. I was like, what is happening? But that damage was definitely there. Do any of us really play a whole lot of Nazebo? I haven't played Nazebo in forever.
Not in months.
Our native Nazebo player is at a concert tonight.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie.
I used to be a Nazebo main, and then Ravenous became not the choice.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to use guard.
Sad.
I used to play a good bit of Nazebo as well, and I don't know why they increased the number of spiders. Like, spiders already do scary amounts of damage, and
everybody loves spiders.
Ravenous Spirit. I love buffs to Ravenous Spirit. I love Ravenous Spirit. It's the zombie armor and Ravenous Spirit and go ham on people. Just because I suck with Gargantuan. I'm really bad with Gargantuan. The Dead Rush, yeah, that also needed to get nerfed. The zombies were doing just an idiotic amount of damage. But this should put him in a more manageable spot than where he was at, where he was. It was just out of control with what Zebo is doing. But we should move on to the flavor of the week support.
Yeah, Malfurion, who's seen just a ridiculous amount of play and seen his win rate completely skyrocket with these changes. Regrowth is getting a mana increase cost by 5, Entangling Roots as well, getting some changes. Huge cooldown increase from 10 to 14 seconds and a 10 additional mana cost. And I think this is the big one here. They bumped the initial delay from 1/4 second to 0.3 seconds. So that's the delay from when it lands on the battleground and it actually triggers onto the heroes that are walking over it. And also, I guess this needed to happen. They're getting rid of Rampant Growth at level 4, even though Elun's Grace was pretty much the talent 99.99% of the time, I feel like. Because that range upgrade. Yeah, I guess that's why they're removing it. Unnecessary talent. But yeah,
I mean, people took it because it gave burst healing, but they don't want Malf to have burst healing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But so
he has burst healing enough now. But yeah, I think these changes essentially change nothing.
No,
like, 5/100ths of a second longer. Oh no, I've got to wait 4 more seconds for root.
You just have to be a little more conscientious of where you're putting the entangling roots, so you're making sure you get some sort of value out of them. But other than that, I mean, the mana increase costs are not too devastating. in the grand scheme of things. I think Malfurion will still be good.
You're probably going to get 1 roots for team fight, so place
Make
it well.
count. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very true.
Yeah. I just scrolled down and looked at bug fixes. And this was something that was really bugging me. I just have to mention it really quick. For observers, when it fixed an issue causing forts and keeps to count as hero takedowns under certain circumstances in replays and observer modes. So thank you, Blizzard, for fixing that. But back to our regularly scheduled heroes changes. Willie's going to be talking for the next 15 minutes about Chen changes.
What? Come on now. I'm not
kidding.
that bad.
I'm kidding.
He already had his Chen showcase.
He did.
But Chen got some nerfs. They were needed. Chen was very dangerously close to solo tank status. With the right builds against right compositions, you could solo tank easily and out damage your assassins very easily and soak more damage than if you were up against a double tank comp, probably both tanks combined. He was doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd hear you say those words.
And you never thought you'd hear me say those words?
That Chen is doing too much.
How dare you, Chen?
He is. Like, a competent Chen. You don't even have to be good at Chen. Like, you just got to be competent. And you will just destroy a backline. And they will not kill you. They won't even come close to killing you. They changed it. They dropped his health down from 2658 to 2550. Reduced his health gen a bit from 5.54 to 5.31 per second. Those were needed. He was regenerating. You said it first time that you were surprised at how little you had to heal me.
Yeah.
And then changes to Earth, Wind, Fire because of the maximum health change. They did increase refreshing elixir. The base healing effect is increased from 20% to 30%. And I still really want to like refreshing elixir. I still can't because it's at level 7. I'm not giving up Brewmaster's balance.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to give up Brewmaster's balance. The only time I can think you could give that up is if you're in a double healer comp and you have Morales and Rhaegar on your team. Mm-hmm. Because then you are literally unkillable at 20. Because you will have an ancestral to literally heal you to full health. It's like 90%, but by the time it goes off, you're maybe at worst 10% if your Rhaegar knows what they're doing. And then a 5-second chug at level 20 will heal like 3.3k health on Chen.
That's
ridiculous. That's idiotic. That's half his health. That's half his health pool. Just whatever. And if you take Purifying Brew, they stun you. Oh no, I'm still drinking. You're still not killing me yet. So, and then they made some changes to Pressure Point, which I don't like, but given how incredibly strong Chen is right now, they were needed. The baseline slow is down to 35% from 40, and the extra slow is down from 80 to 70. That's still, you're not going anywhere. You're not moving. I'm gonna be on you until you're dead, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then again, the level 20 upgrade to Earth, Wind, Fire is the maximum health change is down because of the maximum health change. Leave me alone. Let me watch my cuts.
So those are the Chen changes. Kind of necessary changes. I think. I think we can all agree on that. Yes, Chen.
Yeah.
They were definitely needed.
Okay. All right. Before we finish off the rest of these heroes,
well, hold on, Carl.
Wait.
You didn't have an opinion, Carl.
Yeah. Do
Carl?
you want to
I saw you play Chen the other night. I mean, don't you have an opinion?
Oh no.
I'm not a good Chen
To
player.
be fair, it was in Brawl.
I've gotten wrecked by some Chens, so I like nerfs.
Oh my goodness. But I wanted go ahead and open our giveaway for this week. It is going to be for the Machines of War bundle. Make sure to go ahead and hit !raffle in chat, and we'll be giving that away in just a couple minutes. Thank you to Blizzard for providing that for us. That was freaking awesome. Their community team is really great over there, supporting the show and supporting the community as a whole. But back to takes. ETC getting a little bit of love here as the Guitar Hero talent, increasing the heal amount. Pinball Wizard increases the bonus damage amount at level 7. Echo Pedal at level 7 as well being changed. Damage being lowered by 3. So it's just a minor nerf. And then Mic Check at 13 increases the cooldown reduction of Face Melt from 5 to 6 seconds. So what does this give him? I'm wondering. It's just very minor stuff. So it gives him a little bit more sustain, and obviously the cooldown reduction on Face Melt is going to be awesome for that Mic Check talent. I don't particularly know if that's always the talent taken at 13, or if they're just trying to diversify the talents on that tier. What do you guys think?
I think these are mostly diversification changes.
Yeah.
These are definitely diversification changes.
He's one of those who has one build and one build only.
Which build is that?
He who has one build.
He who shall have one build.
Like,
Nah,
I always win
ETC.
groupies.
Yeah, exactly. That was always the thing, is like usually when you're playing ETC, you're playing him a certain way for the stuns and the keeping people like safe. Like these changes, I don't know. It's an interesting shift, but I don't think it'll have a massive amount of like effect on how many people play him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think so as much either. It's just some changes, some small minor changes. I think that we should move on to this next one, though, because it's kind of the major change of this balance patch coming out tomorrow.
The
problem child is getting addressed. I think all of us were kind of surprised at how quickly Zarya came out of the gate and was not good, to be a little nice about that. And then they, like, what was it, 2-3 days later, they immediately buffed her, and all of a sudden her win rate skyrocketed to something like 60%. I don't know. It was incredible. This is probably the biggest turnaround I've ever seen on a hero in this game. But they are bringing her back to back a little bit closer to earth here with all the other heroes. Basic damage being nerfed, maximum health being nerfed, health regen being nerfed, and a couple talents being changed. At level 1, both maximum charge and demolitions expert being changed. The bonus energy on quest completion dropped from 25 to 20 on the maximum charge, and on demolitions expert, it's actually getting a little bit of a buff. Recharge rate reduction increased from 0.25 to 0.375 up to a total of 3 seconds. And this is a little bit of a buff though too. Speed barrier at 4. Movement speed increased from 25 to 35%. Is this going to be enough to bring her back into that closer to 55 to 50% win rate that they're really wanting for all their heroes? Or
no,
trying to? No?
I don't think so, because the bonus energy on quest is just one build. The other build is totally opposite of most of this, where you'll have that slight reduction, but it, like, the recharge rate is getting buffed instead of like dropping it. So
yeah, and they're buffing demolitions expert, which I already liked. Like, I showed you that build I took the other day, and just completely demolished. It was kind of a janky Grenader build without having to take Grenader at 20. So like, it gave me quicker grenades off of cooldown, so I could spam more damage out. And I still had shields and everything, and at 20, I was gonna, I still had the benefit of all the shields and everything. Builds at like 4 and 7, I think, and 13. And I don't remember what I took. I don't remember what I took at 20 or 16, but like at 20, I was gonna take Unyielding Defender. Because that is just absolute. That won a team fight. at on one particular map where they had a butcher who furnace blast, and I had about a second left to get a shield off, and then gain train at 16. Get a shield off, and then shield 2 people, and if they're already shielded, the way it worked out, the other people who were getting shielded, or the already shielded people, all didn't get re-shielded. So when I had 4 shields out, and then I shielded myself, and we just completely ate the furnace blast, which would have killed us at that point. And then I'm instantly at max energy, and they're all in a nice, neat little line. And they just got melted. And then grenades are coming out. You know, the black hole comes out, and we were trying to steal their boss, and we're like, just go push core. They're all dead at this point. There's no reason for this nonsense. So I like the buff to Demolitions Expert. I don't think this makes her any less of a problem. I think, if anything, it's potentially a bigger problem, because I kind of want to take Speed Barrier now at 4 rather than whatever I took it for instead.
I mean, a 10%.
Because like depending on what build you take, like with the shields, you could have a 35% movement speed increase, a cleanse, and another talent that gives that's personal barrier where you get unstoppable. But that's idiotic.
I was actually picturing the speed barrier with stim drone on Butcher.
Stop it.
Oh my goodness.
With the new Butcher changes, like how filthy
Blizzard,
is that?
Blizzard, I'd love an answer to this. Is there a cap to attack speed? Is there an in-game cap?
There's gotta be something, I feel like, but we'll see.
I think people have tested it. It's still kind of funny, but like you throw out a stim drone, that movement barrier, and like an Abathur hat on like Illidan.
Well, and then there's Bloodlust. Carl,
just because.
Bloodlust. And then there's got to be another talent that somebody has that increases attack speed. You know?
Yeah.
But like it's she's still going to be a problem. She's going to be a little more squishy.
And I think,
and she still has the problem of not having an escape, but for the most part, she's still going to be a gigantic problem.
Yeah, I think as well, the changes are too close to BlizzCon to really be impacting the World Championships. I feel like she will still be first ban worthy, just because there's not enough time to necessarily adjust to these changes. So really, I mean, maybe they will find something that works against Zarya and let Zarya through a draft or two, but I don't know. It's a little bit of a health nerf and a little bit of a damage nerf, but the toolkit is still there. And like you said, she acts as this really great shield barrier, and that's really, I think, what makes her very strong in being able to survive a lot of these attacks. I mean, it's a little bit over 100 maximum health reduced baseline. But I still think that's still a lot to work through.
Yeah, and like I said, especially at 20, like the gain train and unyielding defender combination is, who do you go on? That's up to 3 people who are shielded. 5 if you play it right. Who do you attack and not buff Zarya?
Yeah.
And then she just murders the rest of your team. She's still definitely a problem. It's crazy.
Sure. So we'll have to see as time goes on. This will launch tomorrow, and I wanted to really quickly, we did go ahead and close the drawing, and I went ahead and drew it, and the winner is Spidey651. Make sure to keep an eye out for a Twitch message with the code there. So that's a Machines of War bundle for you there. Go ahead to battle.net/redeem/code. I can't remember what it is. It's one of those two. Go ahead and check that out. And thank you for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. And we'll we'll give some more stuff away at the end here, but I did want to continue on to our thoughts on Samuro as he is available on the PTR. I think most people, though, are playing him through the Brawl right now because he is available that way. Carl, I wanted to get your initial thoughts on this hero and what do you think of his toolkit and how will he fit into this meta?
He's cool. I mean, the stealth mechanic is his way of survival. Weird. It's not how I don't know. I feel like he's more sustainy than people who usually get stealth is. I mean, he can definitely, with an auto crit reset, do like a decent burst, but I mean, I think that's mostly just because they wanted to stay true to his Warcraft 3 kit. So he's definitely a lot of fun to do, and I think you'll see some really cool plays from the mirror image ult or whatever. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to learn how to do stuff like that. I think he's definitely a cool assassin. The fact that he doesn't have to rely on auto attacking to survive like Illidan and Butcher does makes him less counterable. Right? If you pick Lily Johanna into something like Illidan Butcher, who their auto attacks are how they survive, and you like pretty well countered them. And Vision, I guess, helps with him, but most healers don't take Clairvoyance. So you got Tassadar. But it's not even, it still displaces him. So it's, I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. I think he'll definitely have a spot in the meta. His damage is good enough. It's not like he's just undertuned and anything like that. So as most melee assassins, his spot in the meta will be defined by does he do a lot of damage? And right now I think the answer is yes. So he'll be there.
I can't get a good beat on Samuro because I haven't been able to play him in a not Brawl game.
Brawls don't count.
Brawls don't count. He's good in Brawl, don't get me wrong. But like his full effect, I think he's gonna end up being really strong. He's got a really good kit to just murder people really hard, and with his advancing strike and his critical strike talent, where you can activate it, you can start getting Arthas style Frostmourne double taps on people. So you can get crit and then crit again right after it, and that's kind of ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I think Mirror Image is going to end up being the ult of choice just for the utility it provides him. It provides him an incredible escape. It provides him so much mobility, split push, everything like that. I almost wish he had the Alarak style talent where you could take a second ult at 20, but never mind, that's an idiotic decision because you can't get the benefit of Blade Storm with all your mirror images. Like, that one sounds terrifying. Like, all your mirror images have Blade Storm. Like, there are certain like orbs, dots, whatever you want to call them, that they would not allow to stack in other MOBAs. Radiance, for example, in Dota 2, only applied one Radiance effect on all enemies. So it made no sense for two heroes on the same team to both buy Radiance. You wouldn't get a double Radiance effect. Otherwise, everyone would just buy Radiance and literally throw themselves at the other team and burn them down. So, like, I was kind of... What I really wanted to see with Samuro was like some kind of burning rage talent on him, because that would make him, like, if you took Illusion Master, that would be a terrifying split pusher right there. Pop your, especially on small maps, pop your illusions, send them to another lane, and let the burning rage do the work of burning down creeps. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because want to. What's the word? I'll just say we want to avoid a Naga Siren situation where there's a get out of jail free card in his win walk her song, and just be able to just split push all day, and you cannot get out of your own base after a certain amount of time. So I really like his kit for what they designed him to do. It's really well designed, in my opinion. He's going to be a ton of fun, I think. I think he will end up having an impact on the meta. People are going to get their hands on him, and they're just. He'll be the new Thrall. Like when Thrall hit, he made a great impact. I think he's
Artifice is just like, no, please, I love Thrall.
No, Thrall's still going to be good, but he's going to have like when Thrall hit, he had an impact. He was really strong. He was really good.
At least Samuro doesn't have battle momentum.
That's true. That would be.
Imagine that. Imagine
Oh
how
my
fast
gosh.
he would get nerfed like Brawl did.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I think he's going to be really incredible.
Who do you see as his partner in crime?
Tassadar.
Hellstar is always the go-to with melee assassins.
Yeah, pretty much.
Block
Any
him,
melee
Bladestorm, everyone's dead now.
It's like you can see it all through the meta. You were like, when Illidan was king, Tassadar was always with him. When Tracer was king, queen, whatever you want to call it, Tassadar was with them, and that'll probably be another thing. Thrall Tassadar is good. Yeah, any melee, heavy melee,
Tassadar is good.
Yep.
I think anyone who can. Chen and Samuro will actually be a really strong combination because with Chen slowing and Samuro's advancing strikes is his passive, they're not going to get away. You're just going to be able to slap people to death. In terms of supports, Rhaegar will be really good because he'll be able to keep up his Samuro's moderately. He's about middle of the pack in terms of health pool, in my opinion. He eats more damage than I think he should be able to, and especially with Mirror Image, it provides enough distraction where he can get more attacks in or get out in time because you've still got two illusions smacking you in the face, and that's annoying. So, I really want to say Brightwing because, again, Pixie Dust and Advancing Strikes.
Yeah, and I think always when you have those melee heroes, being able to sheep or poly any threats that are kind of bounding upon your melee assassin there, it can always be super, super helpful. But yeah, Samuro he's really interesting. And I know when we got to play Brawl at Blizzard, and that was my first interaction with him, is I never got to play as him, but played against him a couple games, and he's tough to keep track of, at least initially. He's going to be one of those heroes that's going to have a bit of a learning curve for players to kind of learn how to play against him. I mean, we see Zeratul from time to time, so I don't think players are necessarily as used to stealth heroes as they once were, maybe at during different parts of this meta. But I'm really excited for Samuro. I know it's been a long time coming for a lot of people wanting this hero. But Elena, I wanted to hear your thoughts on Samuro a bit, and what do you think about him in that melee DPS spot?
I've only gotten to play him once in a Brawl because I've been back and forth. I think he's interesting. I'd have to find out who his real weakness is to decide how flexible I am with playing him. I also wonder if there's anyone he kind of knocks out of the rotation of who people pick based on whether he's on a map or not, the same way Brightwing and Lunara would negate Tracer. Who does he negate? Who would people stop picking because he's on the floor? I don't know. I like him. I think he's a lot of fun. I don't think he'll be one of those ridiculous things that gets instant banned every single match. So I kind of like that part.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he fits into the assassin meta. But I'm really excited for more heroes as always, and we're coming up on BlizzCon. we'll have some more predictions probably next week, but I feel like we'll get a lot more heroes announced there. We had 3 announced last year, as well as Arena, which is now Brawl, which, hey, they released it before BlizzCon. Yay!
Yay!
Got it
Only 3 weeks to go.
right under the radar there.
My money's on Niantic winning BlizzCon. Wait.
Rip.
Wait.
Oh.
Rip.
Oh.
Oh,
Oops.
man.
Anybody
Was that
else
too
see that
soon?
umbrella that just opened?
Yeah.
Was that?
pretty much.
Sorry.
Um.
I think
quick note.
Oh.
Speaking of BlizzCon, to anyone attending or has the virtual ticket, the shop opens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Pre-sale.
Fun.
Yeah.
I think there was another BlizzCon announcement.
Yeah, specifically
right.
for
There's
BlizzPro.
a Blizz. Yeah, there's a BlizzPro will be doing a small BlizzCon meetup for BlizzPro Friday at 6 p.m. It will be right between the Hall B and Hall C. Wow, that is really hard to say. Hall C entrance, the little hallway inside the doors of the convention center, and the entrance to BlizzCon. They will. That's go see Mr. Stay Tight. Go see some of the hosts of the Power Hour who will be attending. Go see the hosts of Well Met and Westmark Workshop. And I'm not saying Payload because you're on that show too, so I already mentioned you.
Yeah, I already mentioned it all at the top of the show anyways, so we won't do that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well, double coverage then. There we go.
Double coverage, yeah.
So is it just Jimmy and Elena or DJ and Artifice at BlizzCon from our show?
From our show, yes. I believe so.
I wanted to go, but plans fell through. So it happens.
I wanted to go, but college student.
Yeah, it can be expensive. It can be really expensive.
Wait. Is there a Cubs game during BlizzCon? Is that why you're not going?
Well, if they keep playing like this, there won't be.
Oh, ouch.
But yeah, so that covered it twice.
Oh, chat, I love you so much.
Let's see. Hey, how about predictions for what heroes are going to announce for BlizzCon? What do you
Heroes
think? I think
or general announcements.
I think no heroes in particular. I'm guessing Malthael. I think they're doing 2 Diablo heroes.
There's
I think
gotta
they're
be
doing
Diablo
2
heroes.
Yeah, because the anniversary and everything like that. I think it's going to be Malthael and Imperatus.
They're gonna do one weird one, like they had Shogal last one.
They'll be Diva. It'll be
it was Vikings the year before. It was Cho'Gall last year, so it's like they've kind of set up their hero releases at BlizzCon to be kind of strange heroes.
So those heroes that are on like a Ragnaros that can't actually ever move, or like something that just affects structures. The Agiton, or something like that is going to be released. I just don't know what. Or like I can't say your name.
Or like Deckard Cain.
Yeah, or whatever. Like a dragon form, Alexstrasza, or any actual dragon, would be that would have like their size be a part of their kit.
Mm-hmm.
Would be really
not
cool.
Not a gnome, you mean?
Yeah, not a gnome.
Not a gnome.
Yeah. Okay.
Dan Wells raised a good point. Rock and Roll Racers is another potential possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Only if they have Larry as the announcer.
There we go. I did want to point out a really great comment in chat. Just for those of you in the United States of America, BlizzCon happens like right before the November election, so make sure you have that all set up. If you are going to be out of town for that, make sure to get your mail-in ballot. I'm not going to tell you anything about who to vote for because we're going to be remaining completely neutral on this show because it's not a politics show, but make sure you do your duty as an American to go ahead and vote. And I think we're going to start getting into our play games here. So make sure you get the PTR fired up. We're going to there is a BlizzPro channel on there, so make sure to join BlizzPro on the PTR. And yeah, let's do the promotion stuff. Patreon, make sure to check out patreon.com/heroespower. There will be some updates coming very soon to that. So if you're already contributing, we will update you on exactly what the new tiers are going to be. There's going to be a lot of new stuff there. Zex is putting in a ton of work on that, so thank you so much, Zex, for that. We really, really appreciate that. As well, make sure to check out youtube.com/BlizzPro for all your Blizzard video needs. All our shows across the network show up there, as well as any assorted media stuff we get. Like I was able to get off-screen captures of the Brawl mode before it was live on PTR. So you're able to check that out if you want to check that out before hopping on the PTR. Also, our other shows, I will go ahead and promote these. Tomorrow night, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Pacific, is West March Workshop. The hype is real for BlizzCon. Are we going to get some news for Diablo or not? We'll have to see. And the speculation will be, I think, at the all-time high over there with 9 Ball. And Steven, I can't remember, Leviathan. There we go. I was like, I can't remember his screen name, but I know his real name. Anyways, Thursdays, we already mentioned that. Who cares about that show? Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific is well met for the Hearthstone content. And as well, make sure to check out our Discord, discord.blizzpro.com. That's where we hang out during the week, and sometimes we pick up some games there. So make sure you join that. And Artifice, any final thoughts before we head off into PTR land?
Not too much. Like Willie said, the predictions. Like I'm hoping for something for Diablo because it is a fun game. I'm still holding out hope that Heroes adds Lucio. Maybe Junkrat, that would be fun too. But as far as Diablo, yes, it would. Don't rain on my parade. I think the Diablo characters, I think he's kind of online with those already. I don't know who else they might add from like Warcraft since I've been doing so much of that already. But it should be good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it too. Carl, any closing thoughts before we end out the show, before we happen to do a Brawl?
Not much. I'm just excited to get to be playing Brawl with some of the viewers, so make sure you /join BlizzPro in game and hit us up. For
sure. And Zex, closing thoughts?
I'm excited. Given the mention of silly heroes coming out on BlizzCon, Vikings, Cho'Gall, Deckard Cain's coming out.
There we go. You heard it here first. That's going to be episode.
One of his ults has to be called "Stay a While and Listen."
There we go. And
but I do want to give a special shout out to the art. I will tease something. We do have a T-shirt coming out. It's going to be awesome. It's designed by Ashmish. If you see me on Twitter, you see my profile, my old profile picture where the drawing of me is Chen. Same guy is drawing all of us as our favorite heroes. It's going to be completely awesome. Please check him out on Facebook. He's a wonderful artist. He does commission work. You should absolutely. I'm going to link him in chat. Sorry, but check him out. He's a wonderful artist. He has a weird fascination with Kamen Rider, but you know, we all have our flaws. I like the Cubs. Yeah, definitely check them out. And, you know, stay tuned to those patron goals. They're coming out. I'm really excited about them. And I'll tease one more thing. We will be having a special little message for everyone for the patron page. Please look forward to that.
Yeah, that's a lot of really awesome stuff to look forward to, and that will be it for episode 77 of The Hero's Power. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and supporting us, and we really appreciate it, and we will see you in the Nexus if you're watching live, and if not, we will see you next week for The Hero's Power. Stay tight.